Hey, what's up YouTube? Jared here, GTC, and today we are going to be talking about 17,000 mile review on our 2021 GMC Canyon Elevation Edition. So let's get right into this. Okay, so this is actually my son Jacob's car, and we purchased this truck in January 2021. Through a variety of circumstances, we ended up with this truck. Now, he has put in 18 months and change over 17,000 miles on this thing, right?
Yep, 17,033 miles.
Okay, so the color also on this car, I think, is one of the most beautiful colors that GM offers. It's the satin steel metallic, I believe it's called. Jacob, what do you think of this color?
I think it's probably the best gray I've ever seen on a car. So we opted for the crew cab, so you can have, there's 3 seats in the back, so it's more like an SUV on seating. There's plenty of room for people, 4 doors. And then on the bed, we actually did the shorter bed, because I drove a Tacoma and I really didn't like how long the bed was. Now, looking back, that might be something that I would do differently, because I have had a couple issues where I haven't been able to totally fit something, so sometimes you have to put something in crooked or sideways, but you can definitely make it work.
From a standpoint of frills, this is a pretty basic situation you have here. I mean, it's cloth seats, there's not leather.
Right.
You don't have push start. I don't understand why on a 2021 why it's a key.
Yeah, that's blown my mind. I've driven 2013 Chevy vehicles that have push button start, and here I am in a 2021 still turning keys. I mean, you have these people buying electric trucks nowadays. People can have a button. There can be a button to start the car. But these car manufacturers are trying to strike this weird balance of like, okay, what's modern and techie, but also, you know, still stays true to like being a car and familiar. And buttons, like buttons to switch gears, that's not familiar. This is too familiar. This is something we can let go. Everybody can say goodbye to the key and we can start having buttons. This is not something we should say goodbye to. This should stay around. This can go. This can stay, but hopefully they figure that out soon enough.
I can't say I disagree.
Yeah. Another thing is the mirrors are actually not power mirrors. I have to reach out and manually touch the mirrors, and it gets fingerprinted and stuff.
There are literally no controls on the inside for the mirrors, for the outside mirrors. I find that really weird. They're not only are they not powered, there's no controls. You have to roll the window down and manually press on them. But have you had any issues in 17,000 miles with this? And this is the V6 edition, by the way. This is a V6, not a 4-banger.
As far as the functionality of the car, I've had 0 issues. Mechanically, everything has been perfectly fine. Just keeping up with the oil changes and stuff. Only issue I've had has been with this display here, but that got fixed pretty quickly. So.
And what was that issue with the display?
It was just not connecting to Apple CarPlay, but we took it in and we had that fixed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gas mileage, what are you getting on MPG?
I'm getting about 17 on city driving, stop and go like this, like we have right now. But if you jump on a freeway, you're going to be getting upwards of 21, 22 miles per gallon.
What are some things you really like about this car, other than it's smooth driving? It's been a reliable car for you. What are the other positives you have?
Well, I really like the look of it, because we were looking at quite a few other trucks. I believe we were looking at the Nissan Frontier. I think we were looking at the Chevy Colorado is pretty similar. But I just really like the look of this truck. You know, you're getting something that's a lot smaller than every other kind of truck on the market, but you know, you don't feel like a wimp. You're still in this car, and I feel like I'm in a truck. I feel higher than everybody else, and just visually, it still has a very aggressive look to it. So I do like that.
You did add a couple of aftermarket things. You added a bed liner and you added the side steps.
Yeah.
Right?
So as far as the side steps, I don't know if this car actually needs them. A lot of the time when I'm getting out, they're either in the way or I just step right over it. I think that a side step is definitely something more for a higher truck, but for the bed liner, that's essential. You're gonna need a bed liner no matter what kind of truck you have.
I agree. The side steps look cool on it. They add a black kind of a, I don't know, kind of an
trim.
accent to it, a trim, and it seems like it completed the truck, but when I was getting in and out of it, I don't use it at all. You just step right over it.
Yep.
Yeah, totally agree. And you have not just taken this around town. You've taken this on some road trips. You've taken it to Tahoe. We've taken it across 3 states on,
That's something else to mention. Going back, I would definitely get a 4-wheel drive truck, even if it means I have to get something older, because, getting into it, I was thinking, I'm not really going to be in the snow much. What do I need 4-wheel drive for? But when you need it, you really need it, because then you're fumbling with chains that don't fit, and you're just going to wish, man, I wish I would have just opted for the 4-wheel drive.
Other than that,
it's been perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, just functionally, like I said, there's been 0 issues. Every time I'm turning the key, obviously it's going to fire right up and it's going to run perfectly. No sounds, nothing weird. No matter what speed you're going, you're not having any like strange noises or rumblings that need to be looked at.
So we're gonna go get some gas. Tell me, you like the fact that a lot of these cars today, they have no gas cap. Is this the same?
Yeah, this one has no gas cap, so you're not fumbling around with a gas cap. I do enjoy that. You just put it in. It's a little valve, I guess you could call it, and you just fill it up, pull it back out, and you don't got to worry about it. So that is something that I do like. One thing about the tires that I really do like is that the black rim on the elevation model. Because the elevation model, when you go up to elevation, you're going to get those black trims. Also on the elevation, it has a bit of a lift. So I believe it's a 2-inch lift, and it's kind of slanted forward. Some people, they like to get a leveling kit because it sits like this. You can actually level it. Some people like to do that. But
you looked into that. You were gonna.
I was gonna do that. I was gonna level it, but I just thought, it's not really worth it.
Right.
But if you do want to, you can level it. But that's something that I do like about the elevation model as opposed to the baseline, is that they lift it and the tires look cooler.
Yeah, that's for sure. So what do you think of the displays?
So yeah, one thing I've always loved about every GM car I've ever driven is that, well, ones in the past like 10-ish years, is that they all have the exact same digital display. It just shows you your speed, it's going to show you your miles, and the menus are just super easy to click through. Like, it'll show you fuel range, it shows you can time your trip, I guess. One thing that's awesome that I hate about newer cars is that this is a physical dial. I can actually just look here and feel, and I don't have to look at the screen. Some of these modern cars, you're twisting it and you have to look up at the monitor, and there's kind of a delay and you're wondering like how hot is it. This is just a physical dial. I love that. That's just me personally. And another thing I want to mention is during our test driving before we bought this car, we were looking at the 4-cylinder version of this. Not to say the four-cylinder one wasn't fun to drive. I mean, it was plenty smooth, but at the end of the day, you're gonna be wishing you bought a 6-cylinder truck.
So as you prepare to pull out here, no young person review is complete without talking about the sound system. That's something that I'm so worried about, is getting rid of this, because the sound system in here is actually so good. Like, the bass is incredible. Obviously you have fully adjustable, you can adjust the EQ or whatever, however you want, boost the bass, boost the mid-range, whatever you want to do. But yeah, it's plenty loud and it's very, very bassy. If I'm playing music, the mirrors will shake. I'll look out and the mirrors shake. So this isn't even the upgraded sound package either. You can go up one more tier and you can get like Bose speakers in this car, but these are just the standard ones, and plenty of bass, crystal clear sound, and it's plenty loud. So I wouldn't even worry about upgrading your speakers. All right, guys, that is it for the 2021 Canyon Elevation Edition 17,000 mile review. Gets a thumbs up from my son Jacob, and we will catch you on the next one. Take care.